Close your eyes for a moment. Take a slow, deep breath. Feel the air filling your lungs, then gently release it. Now imagine that all the labels, names, and identities you hold about yourself are like costumes you've worn for a long time. These costumes have shapes and colors. Some are bright, some are dark, some are heavy, some are light. But what if you could take off every costume, no longer holding on to your name, your job, your nationality, or your beliefs, no longer clinging to your achievements, your failures, your memories, or your fears, just being pure and simple. Now ask yourself, with honesty and openness, who are you? Not your thoughts, not your stories, not the voice inside your head, but the one who is aware of those thoughts, the one who notices the stories without getting lost in them. What remains when you strip away everything you think you are? This question may seem abstract or even unsettling at first, but it is the most important question you can ever ask, because hidden inside this question lies the root of all suffering and also the seed of all freedom. What if all the problems you face, anxiety, conflict, sadness, begin from misunderstanding who you truly are? Let's begin an exploration, an inward journey to the heart of your being, the birth and construction of identity. From the moment you were born, you did not arrive with a fully formed identity. You entered the world as pure presence, a newborn with no concept of I or me. Your first cries, your first breaths, your first sensations, these were raw and unfiltered. You experienced the world without judgment, without labels, without comparison. But slowly, as you grew, others began to shape your understanding of yourself. Your parents named you, giving you a sound to respond to. Teachers, friends, and society started to fill your world with labels. You are smart, you are shy, you are a boy, you are a girl, you are good at sports, you are artistic, you are quiet, you are loud. Each label became a thread woven into the tapestry of your identity. You began to build a sense of self, not from your own pure experience, but from external feedback and conditioning. You started to believe the story that others told about you, and later, the story you told yourself. Your personality became your fortress, a way to protect yourself from rejection and pain. Your achievements were badges proving your worth. Your failures were scars you tried to hide. Your hopes and dreams were promises of a better self. But the self you constructed is not who you truly are. It is a mask, a character in a play written by your past experiences and social conditioning. Behind this mask, something else quietly watches, something deeper, quieter, more authentic. The ego, protector and prisoner. The ego is often misunderstood. It is not a villain to be defeated. It is a survival mechanism, a tool created by your mind to protect you and help you navigate the world. The ego creates a narrative, a story of me and mine. It helps you form relationships, make decisions, and maintain social connections. Without ego, survival in a complex society would be difficult. However, the ego's story is fragile and limited. It constantly asks, am I good enough? Am I loved? Do I matter? It fears rejection, failure, and loss. When its story is challenged, when you are criticized, rejected, or ignored, the ego feels attacked. This threat creates emotional pain, fear, and anger. The ego reacts by defending itself, sometimes with aggression or withdrawal. It clings to control, trying to hold onto an image of stability. But the ego is like a tightrope walker balancing over an abyss. The tighter it clings, the more unstable it becomes, and the more it resists change, the more it suffers. Yet, this is the paradox. The ego protects you by building walls, but those walls also imprison you. The illusion of the separate self. At the heart of the ego is the belief in separation. You are here, others are there. I am different. I am separate. This sense of separateness feels real because it is reinforced by your thoughts and perceptions. But what if this separation is an illusion? Modern science and ancient wisdom both point to the interconnectedness of all things. Quantum physics reveals that at a fundamental level, everything is connected energy. Spiritual teachings remind us that the sense of separate self is a veil over a deeper unity. You are not just an isolated individual. You are part of a vast web of life, interwoven with everything around you. The ego's story hides this truth behind walls of fear and judgment, but when those walls dissolve, you begin to experience a profound connection with yourself, others, and the universe. The true self, beyond thought and identity. So, who are you beyond the ego? You are the awareness that observes all thoughts, emotions, and experiences. This awareness is not an object or a thing. It is the subject, the very essence of experience itself. It is like the screen on which a movie plays. The screen is not the story. The screen is simply present, allowing images to appear and disappear. You are that screen. All your thoughts, feelings, and identities are like images on the screen, temporary, changing, and insubstantial. But the awareness behind them is constant, unchanging, and vast. This awareness has no shape, no time, no boundary. It is pure presence, pure being. It is the silent witness to all that happens. And this presence is your true self. The silent witness in everyday life. You might wonder, how can I experience this witness in my daily life? Start by simply noticing your thoughts. Notice the voice in your head, the constant chatter about the past, the future, and yourself. Realize that this voice is not you. You are the one hearing it. Next, notice your emotions. When you feel anger, fear, or joy, see if you can observe them without becoming them. Watch how emotions arise, change, and pass away. You are the space in which these emotions appear. You don't have to be carried away by them. You can witness them with calmness and curiosity. In this simple practice of witnessing, you begin to step out of identification with the ego. You create space between you and your thoughts and feelings, and in this space, freedom grows. The collapse of the false self-life often shakes us awake by dismantling the false self. Maybe it's a loss, a failure, or a painful breakup. Or maybe it's a quiet moment of deep reflection or meditation. When the ego's story falls apart, you may feel lost and afraid. Who am I without my name, my job, my history? This fear is natural. It feels like death, the death of your old identity. But this death is also a doorway. Beyond the fear lies a new beginning. The false self crumbles, revealing a vast openness underneath. You begin to feel less burdened by your stories. You feel lighter, freer, more alive. You realize you're not your roles or your labels. You are the awareness in which all of these arise and fade. This is awakening, a radical shift from identification with the ego to realization of your true nature. Freedom from the need to be someone true. Freedom is not about becoming a better or different person. It is about letting go of the need to be anyone at all. It is waking up each morning without the pressure to perform or prove yourself. It is speaking your truth without fear of judgment. It is acting from love and authenticity rather than fear or desire. When you stop trying to protect and defend a fragile self-image, you find peace. You discover that you were never the mask you wore. You were always the presence behind the mask. In this realization, life flows naturally. Love flows freely. Peace arises effortlessly. Why we fear letting go? If this freedom is so beautiful, why do we resist it? Because the ego is familiar and comforting. It gives us structure and a false sense of control. Letting go feels like losing everything we thought we were. It feels like death. But every death is followed by birth. Every ending opens space for new life. The space left by the ego's collapse is not emptiness. It is infinite possibility. We fear the unknown. But the unknown is where life truly happens. Every belief, every certainty you hold was once unknown. So instead of resisting, lean into the mystery. Observe without judgment. Be present with what is. Allow yourself to be, without conditions, without expectations. Living from stillness and presence. This path is not about escaping life's challenges. It's about embracing life fully, as awareness itself. When you live from stillness, you respond to life instead of reacting. You listen deeply. You love without conditions. You move with grace instead of struggle. You stop fighting to be something. You start allowing what is. In this allowance, there is peace. Not the peace of a perfect life, but the peace of being truly alive. Final thoughts, a living question. So, who are you? Not as a fixed answer, but as a question to return to again and again. This question invites you to peel away illusions and discover what is real. It reminds you that you are not your story, your roles, or your labels. You are the presence in which all of these arise and dissolve. You are timeless, vast, and free. And in this realization, life becomes a sacred journey, a dance of discovery, wonder, and deep peace. Return often to this question, because in the asking, transformation happens, and in the silence between thoughts, your true self is revealed.